So to sit, some people just actually really need to sit on a chair. So when you sit for meditation, the idea really is to be able to sit with the spine. Hello, Chantal. Welcome, welcome. To sit with the spine that is long. So it's not like sit up straight, chest forward, and we're gonna meditate, which I sometimes see happen. It's also not like this lower back that's starting to curve and the upper back that kind of curves with it. If you have a curved upper back, because that's how your spine has grown over time, then of course, there's not some things you can't change, or they can maybe change, but we're not going to change that right now. So there's different ways to sit. Either on a chair. I don't have a chair here, but I can sit on my leg bender, and you just sit. I put something on there to be more comfortable, but I'm not going to sit. But this is a way to sit and to practice. Another way I really enjoy to sit in is to sit like this with the legs kind of bent. I do, however, feel that the top of my feet stretched out like this isn't super comfortable. So what I sometimes tend to do, if I do sit like this, is either put some eye pillows or like a little rolled up towel just below my ankle so that I don't have that super strain on flexing the foot so much, because my foot, I'm just not a ballerina, never have been, never will be, and that's okay. And so it could either be like this, or if it's also not so comfortable for the knees, you can just get like 2 bolsters or 2 meditation pillows, or you even have these little benches that have a seat that goes a little bit inclined, a little wooden bench, which is like a little meditation bench. So you have these as well. And then your legs can actually be below your butt, which in this case would be a bit more uncomfortable, because you could remove the bolster and put the pillow on your legs, but that's not particularly comfortable. So this is actually also a really neat way to be able to kind of sit upright, because there's a bigger angle here, there's some space in the knees, and it's really kind of easy to sit, at least for me. Maybe for you it's not easy at all, you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, but for me this is I can feel my sitting bones. You can just kind of wiggle into a position that's comfortable. Then another option that I also sit in a lot if I meditate, which I couldn't actually do back in the day. Now I can. For me, to sit like this, now I feel like a stretchy here, which I don't enjoy. And I'm a firm believer of being comfortable. That's also the art of not doing, the whole idea of that. So if I notice that I feel like a stretch in my groin, that is, if I sit for 20 minutes or 15 or even 10, it's just not going to be comfortable, then I just pat it up. And now I don't have that stretch, and I can sit, and I'm tilting forward a little bit like this. So if you're like me and you're like, I can sit like this, or even if it's like cross-legged, it's actually also another nice one. If you sit cross-legged, my knees don't go down that much. Like ideally, they always say that your knees are below the hips. My knees are now sticking out a bit, so that's why I don't tend to sit like this. Also, this for me creates a bit of a crunchy in my hips. My hips aren't the most open ones. What is nice, however, is to have a roll in the middle that supports the lower legs. So it's not so much about supporting the knees, which you could also do, but this is a very nice Like now, I'm still not as comfortable as I would be. So this is not my preferred seat. But like this, at least my legs are relaxing. There's no strain on my ankles, because also if I sit like this, especially this foot is a bit like twisted, this ankle, which is also, if you sit for 5 minutes, that might be doable. If you sit longer, then at some point, if you afterwards want to stand up, you're like, yeah, maybe not yet. Maybe let's move my ankle a bit. So this is also a nice possibility to support the legs and be comfortable. And then one other thing that I love the most to do, extra support, is when I sit like this, and you can do that in any shape, because often it's like place the hands on the knees or in your lap or wherever. But for me, my elbows are kind of hanging in the air and are kind of pulling on my shoulders, which I don't find particularly comfortable. I don't know about you, maybe for you it's fine. And also, I mean, the position of the hands can help, but I don't know. So the option that I have, which I also just really enjoy, because if you have a big towel or a blanket, you kind of wrap yourself with it, which is also very nice to have warmth and kind of a sense of support around the lower back. That's already for me this kind of like, oh, okay, I can sit. Someone or something's got my back, so to say. I don't know if that makes sense to you as well. And then with the blanket, I just kind of roll it up in such a way that it forms a little ring around my body, and then I can rest my lower arms on that. And this is actually, because the weight of my arms, it kind of pulls the blanket forwards, which gives extra support around the lower back. That's really neat. And then there's this little armrest that you've created for yourself. And also, especially when it's cold, there's this little nest where your hands can kind of settle. And obviously, you can always cover yourself up with another blanket, because if you sit for a while, you do want to make sure you're not cold, because, otherwise, I see some hearts. People like this. Me too. I'm happy I'm sharing this, because this is one of my little neat tricks that I really love. And I never see anyone do, or I don't know if I thought of this, but if I didn't, and if someone thought of this before me, then I credit that person. I don't know who it is, but this is, I don't know, but this is what I do.